Good morning, welcome to Fairy and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about helping your dog if he's scared of thunder. So I've got 3 dogs, as you can see. These 2 I've had for years, like Albert's 10, Harry's almost 7. And they're fine with thunder, they're absolutely fine. But Hump's here, if you don't know my channel, I've had him for a year. And he's come from South Korea, from the dog meat trade. And in that year of having him, we have never had a thunderstorm until the other night. We've had the odd rumble in the distance, but nothing major, and he wasn't bothered about that at all. But the other night we had a really bad thunderstorm. It wasn't forecast, so we completely wasn't prepared for it. And in the UK, we just don't. When I was small, we used to get really bad thunderstorms, but now we hardly ever get them. And so to have one just out of the blue, and it was a real bad one, like it really shook the house, and the lightning, lit up the whole house, and the thunder really shook it. It was a really, really bad one. And when the real big bangs would happen, little Albert over there and Harry over there, they would look alarmed, but they weren't. That then were kind of just fine. After that, there were no problems. But Humps got himself, he was in such a state. It was awful to watch. So I just jumped in and with what I've done before. So over the years, I've had many, many dogs, and I've had to get many of them over fearful things. And I've just sort of gone, I just do what I do. And there were other dogs, over the years that I've looked after and helped and stuff. And so I just went straight into what I know. So when the thunder happened, I got woken up by a big flash in my eyes, and then this real big bang. Now, Albert and Harry, they sleep upstairs with us on our bed. Humps sleeps downstairs on that sofa. He can sleep upstairs, he can come upstairs if he wants to, but he just never has. And I don't blame him, because on that bed it gets crowded. On that sofa, it's lovely and squishy, and he gets the whole sofa to himself. So I completely understand why he sleeps downstairs. It makes lots of sense. Quite honestly, sometimes I wish I could. But so when I woke up, he was downstairs. So my first thought was, I need to get to him. He, as it happened, as I was looking over the banister, he came running up the stairs, and he was shaking so badly. I've never seen a dog shake like that, and I've seen a lot of scared dogs in my time. I've never seen a dog shake so much. Really, really shaking. And he was drooling and he was crying. And so the first thing is, the most important thing is that you mustn't, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound harsh, but then listen to what I say next and you'll see that it isn't harsh. You have to not comfort them, because all you're doing is reinforcing that there's something to be scared of. So they're looking to you to see whether or not that is something that they need to be worried about. So for instance, when somebody knocks on the front door, or they hear a noise outside the front door, they're looking to you to go and see whether that's safe or not. And so whenever there's anything out the front of the house or anything like that, I just go and look out the window, and then I just say, it's okay, nothing to worry about. And they all just calm, they stop barking, calm right down. So he knows that if there is any noise around the house, I will look, I will check whether or not it's safe, and then I say, fine, it's safe. And then they just know to calm down. And so I went with the same approach with this. So when it was all happening, I was just saying exactly the same. So I was still saying, it's okay, yep, oh, no problems, fine, yep, it's okay. Just like that. Not in a comforting, reassuring way. But my energy was incredibly comforting, because I was incredibly calm. Really, really calm. Now, some of the bangs made me jump out my skin, but I just, got myself straight back to calm. And I let him get as close to me as he wanted. So he snuggled right in with me. So he was right on my lap, snuggled right in, and I let him do that. Your energy with a dog is all they've got. Yeah, sure, they understand a certain amount of words, but all they're really understanding about those words is the energy of it. Now, if you're about to turn this off because you think I've gone all woohoo, please don't. Please, please, please don't. Your dog cannot understand English or whatever, the language you speak. They do understand energy. And that's not me just saying it, although over the years it's been proven and I see it all the time. It's scientific fact. They smell the different chemicals that we give off. So if we're scared, if we are sad, if we are happy, if we're angry, We give off a whole load of different chemicals, and dogs smell those chemicals. I've done a whole video on it. Can dogs smell fear? It's fascinating. It's really worth watching. Can dogs smell fear? I'll pop it up at the end of this video. So they can smell the chemicals that you're giving off. You cannot trick a dog. You can't be pretending to feel one way and actually be feeling another way, because you're always going to be giving off the smell of how you really feel. So if I had been nervous, even if I'd acted like I was calm, it wouldn't have worked, because that I would have given off a cortisol or whatever hormone you give off when you're nervous, and I would have given off maybe adrenaline. He would have smelt that and known that I was worried about it, and that is the last thing he needs. So if you think about it, when you were little, supposing there was a thunderstorm that really scared you, and if your mum was all like calm and relaxed and like, yeah, it's fine, no problem, you would be calm and relaxed, because you'll be like, she's in charge and she's saying it's calm and it's fine. If she had been scared and shaking and been like, oh my goodness, this is terrible, shaking and scared, did you see how Humps looked up then when I said that? Because my energy changed. If your mum had been acting scared, you would have been scared. And it's the same with dogs. And I know so many of you think I talk a load of old woohoo, but I don't. I live with dogs. I'm always with my dogs. If I can't, my dogs are with me all the time. And I know how dogs work. And that is how they work. So if you show them that it's calm and there's nothing to worry about, they believe that, because they're looking to you for leadership. So you've got to give them that leadership. Now, how you show them that it's nice and calm and there's nothing to worry about is by staying calm yourself. So if you have a fear of fireworks, not fireworks, thunderstorms, well, yeah, and fireworks for this matter, but if you have a fear of thunderstorms, your dog is going to have a fear of thunderstorms. So you need to put things in place. So if you know a thunderstorm is coming, try, if it's possible, I don't know how possible it is, to have somebody around that would make you not feel scared, because if you're scared, your dog will definitely be scared. So I get contacted a lot by people who say, my dog is so anxious, and the first question I always ask is, are you anxious? And they'll always come back and, yeah, I am. And there's no judgment there. There's no judgment there at all, but it is just the way it is. Your dog will reflect how you feel. So even though the house was shaking and it was quite, it was quite dramatic, I stayed really, really calm. And I've talked about this before, and I know again a lot of you will say it's woohoo, but your breathing, if you're not feeling calm, do breathing. 4 breaths in, hold for 1 breath, slowly breathe out for 8 seconds, hold for 1 breath, breathe in for 4 seconds and hold for 1 breath, and breathe out for 8 seconds. I'm a little bit of a neuroscientist geek, and what that does is it actually changes the part of your brain that chucks you into fight or flight. That actually tells your brain that it's okay and there's nothing to worry about. It's not me just jabbering on. That's scientific fact. That's how your brain works. But you have to breathe out for twice as long as you breathe in to activate the part of your brain that makes you scared, and to tell your brain that everything's okay. And also, by doing that, you will release calm, relaxing chemicals. Your dog will smell the calm, relaxing chemicals, and you will all be nice and calm. So I made sure that I stayed really calm when the big bangs happened, and I jumped, and my heart would went. I would do the breathing and I would calm myself all down. So I sat on the bed. My husband was in bed. I sat on the bed, and all 3 of my dogs were sat with me. So he had his pack around him, and I just sat there really nice and calmly and let him get right in with me. You've got to be a bit careful when it comes to stroking a dog that is this nervous. So I know Humps really well, and I knew that he needed me to not hug him, but to just have my hand on him, just have my hand there. I didn't really do anything else, just have my hand on him, and to just let him be with me completely. And he was just right in my lap, and he's quite a big dog to be on your lap, and he was right in my lap, and he would calmly, he just slowly just calm down, calm down, calm down. Now there is a lot of people, trainers and behaviourists and stuff, they say that you should, if you've got a dog that's scared of something, you should make him a den so that he can go and hide in that. That may work for some dogs. I've never found it to work, because I've always found that any dog that I've had that's scared of anything calms down much quicker if they can actually touch me. You must never, ever get into an enclosed space with a dog that is scared. that dog is scared and he's not going to be thinking straight. He might not even know who you are. So many people get bitten badly by dogs by getting into an enclosed space with them. So don't ever do that. If your dog reacts great to a den situation, that's great. But I personally have always found that dogs do so much better in those situations if they can actually be touching you. And that's what happened with Hump. So the storm went on for about an hour, and I just sat on the bed. I just sat there cross-legged. We had some candles on, not real candles. I use those battery-operated candles. So I put some of them on so we had light. It also took away the effect so much of when the lightning was lighting up the room. And it also gave a nice calming kind of atmosphere. The other thing we did was we put on classical music. So we just picked up a phone on YouTube, relaxing music for dogs. And that music, it's kind of like I don't know much about, I can read music, but, I don't know anything about music, but it had a nice calming sort of tone to it. So on YouTube, relaxing music for dogs. And we had that going, not loud. I don't think, some people believe that if you have music really loud, louder than the thunder or the fireworks or whatever, that makes it better. I think it just makes it worse, because you're just putting so much noise into the dog's brain. It's just awful for them. So be able to hear the music, obviously, but not have it loud, so that you've just got a nice, relaxing, calming atmosphere. And that worked really, really well. It really helped Humps here, that little Albert over there and Harry, they were really calm, and that helped him so much. If you've got a load of dogs and they're all really scared, then you need to just let them all be right next to you. Be a little bit aware that when they're all really scared, there could be squabbles. So just be aware, keep your hands out of the way and stuff like that. But just let them all be as close to you as they want to be. And make sure that you keep nice and calm. And that if there's like a big bang, you don't want to completely ignore their fear. So if there's a really big bang and they're all scared, just calmly say, it's okay, nothing to worry about, it's all gone now. Nice and calm. You must keep yourself nice and calm. If you do have anybody in your house that's really scared, you don't want them by the dogs. You want to get them away from the dogs. So not to have them with the dogs. Have your person that is the calmest and not scared with the dogs. So after we've done that for about an hour, it had all stopped and it had all calmed down. And I wasn't quite sure then what to do, because it looked like Humps would stay on the bed with us asleep. But there's no way, 2 adults, 3 dogs in a bed. It's ridiculous. No one's getting any sleep. So I came down here, just grabbed my pillow, came down here, plopped myself over there on the sofa, and I slept there for a while. Luckily, these two stayed upstairs with my husband, so it was just me and Humps down here. And he just jumped up on the sofa with me and cuddled right into me and fell fast asleep. And I could feel his body, the tension just going from it. And he was snoring his head off. And I stayed there for a couple of hours, and then he got up and moved into his normal place, which is he sleeps on this bit. And once he did that, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I then got up and went up to bed, and he didn't. If he'd woken up or looked worried, I'd have gone back, but he didn't look worried at all. So I just went up, got back into bed. And he just slept downstairs. And the next day, he was tired, obviously, that we all were tired, but he was fine. There didn't seem to be any problems with it. So what I'm going to do now is, so if you've watched my videos about fireworks, I had the same situation with him with the fireworks. So he came to us, and then like a month or two later, we had fireworks, and he was really scared. So that was a year ago. And then in that year, I've been putting different things in place to get him over his fear of fireworks. And one of those things that I do is daily I tap into YouTube, fireworks for dogs, and there's all just videos of the sounds of fireworks. And if you want to know how that all goes, if you go to the playlist and go to firework fear, in there I talk to you exactly how I do it, and the timings, and for how long, and all of that stuff, and for how loud, which is quite important. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find videos with sounds of thunder and play them, just have them playing, a minute here, maybe a couple of minutes every day or something, just to get him used to, just to get, big old sigh, just to get him used to the sound of thunder. I don't know why. I mean, we used to have so many thunderstorms here. It was like regular. Now we just don't. So it's not, you know, something that he's massively going to be able to get used to, I suppose. But that's what I'm going to do going forward. But it massively is about your energy. And if you just think I talk a lot about rubbish and this energy thing is rubbish, try it. That's all I can ask. Just please try it. Never, ever, 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 ever tell the dog off. Even if the dog's barking and frantic, never tell the dog off. You are going to make the situation so much worse, and you're going to heighten his fear. So that's how it went for me. So I was really pleased with how that went. Hopefully if we have another loud thunderstorm, it won't be as bad. He won't be as scared. But even if he is as scared, I know what to do to calm him down, and that's the important thing. So that's that. Look at him having his lovely sleep with his toy. Bless his heart. He's been with us just over a year now. So he was in South Korea a year ago. Breeding dog for the dog meat trade. Went through absolute hell. But he's doing all right, aren't you, my darling? He's doing all right. He's gorgeous. He's doing great. So I'm going to leave it there. So you know how it works. I'm on social medias, and put your comments into comments. If you've got any questions, pop them in there. So I hope that you and your dogs all have a lovely day. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.